What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to talk to you about a story that it originally happened on May 18th, but it recently came back and yesterday evening, and it's about this man right here. I'll put him on this side. This guy right here. This piece of crap. His name is landerd.coleman from Chicago, Illinois. Shout out Chicago. This man right here was in a 10-hour standoff with police starting in the wee hours of Friday morning, which was yesterday. This guy gave himself a self-inflicted gun wound, and as police were trying to apprehend him in this 10-hour standoff. This guy didn't lose his life. He's still alive. He's in the hospital getting treatment. Now, this guy was wanted by police. Why, you may ask? For a domestic dispute in which this savage shot this woman here, Antoinette Newsom, his ex-girlfriend and mother of 3 of his children. 7 times, including twice in the head. This woman is still hospitalized, but gave an interview yesterday. She said some things about the system and how she was thankful and what she went through. You know, sometimes on this channel I cover domestic violence issues, but most of the time the news is telling the story. This woman tells you the story of what happened, and she wasn't the only victim of this. Take a look at this story. We'll go with Mr. landerd.coleman first, how he got caught, and then we'll go right into the story of Miss Antoinette Newsom. Sickening, man. Some cowardly people out here. Let's go.
Authorities have emphasized that the threat has been removed. There's no public threat at this time since this morning at about 9:30 a.m. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a difficult night and a difficult morning for those who live nearby. The quiet disrupted last night for some Roseland residents when police encountered a man with a gun. Gaude Marquez says he heard someone trying to open his door. Then police arrived to escort him out.
La policía sí hizo esto, pam, 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 duro. Él salió en la cabeza.
Austin Pena says he and his wife laid on the floor when they saw police with guns drawn and a man with his gun to his head. The encounter began a 9-hour standoff with FBI and Chicago police officers.
He stood up, he laid down, he sat down, all while his gun to his head. He took his clothes off, gun still to his head.
A neighbor near the 9500 block of South Vernon, who did not want to be identified, was asked to evacuate with her family by police.
We knew it was serious when we saw the guy holding the gun to his head.
After 9 a.m., some neighbors heard a single gunshot. Law enforcement sources tell us the man shot himself. Officers offered aid, and the man was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Sources tell ABC7 the man was Landerd Coleman. He was wanted for shooting his ex-girlfriend and 2 of her children in Madison earlier this month. The standoff disrupted lives for residents in this part of Roseland this morning and overnight, but there is gratitude. No one else was hurt.
Sad day. Sad that somebody would get to that point, whatever point he was at. It wasn't a good one.
The woman who was shot in Madison, I just spoke with her a few minutes ago. She remains hospitalized. She says she and her children are physically healing, but she fears this incident will leave irreparable harm.
That's the story. Landerd Coleman shot himself and receiving treatment right now after police took him into custody. Says he was wanted for shooting his ex-girlfriend and 2 of her children in Madison, I guess that's a neighborhood, on Saturday, May 18th. The woman had a order of protection against him for alleging domestic violence. Days after this happened, this is when he attacked her viciously. Now she's going to tell her story right now in detail, and I want you to pay attention to how cowardly and evil this person was. It's the mother of your children. You couldn't even give enough respect to lead by example. Take a look.
We begin tonight at 6 with a CBS 2 exclusive. You may have seen this hours-long SWAT standoff unfold here on CBS 2 this morning. The man at the center of it all on the run after police say he shot a mother and her 2 children.
That mother now detailing the horror she lived through that night. To CBS 2's Marissa Perlman. We must warn you, this may be hard to hear and see.
That had to be the most terrifying thing that I ever been through in my life.
We met Antoinette Newsom, where she's been recovering from 7 gunshot wounds.
I woke up to a gun in my face.
She wants you to see what domestic violence did to her and her family. Madison police say this man, the father of 3 of her kids, shot her while she was sleeping. She believes he snuck into her home, hid for hours, and attacked.
My 2 babies was in the bed. And my baby got out and she said, "Mommy, please don't die."
She survived physically, but she'll live with this forever.
The 3 bullets in the chest they couldn't take out, so I have to keep that forever.
She won't be able to use her arm properly again.
Yeah, it was a bullet.
She was also shot in the chin and head. Her 12-year-old son, Junior, heard the shots from the next room and tried to help her. He was shot too. Her daughter, 23, sleeping downstairs, was shot and beaten.
To shoot kids, what type of monster are you?
The suspect seen on surveillance running from their home with a gun in his hand. But this morning, almost 2 weeks after this nightmare in Roseland, Landerd.Coleman was spotted with a gun and engaged in an almost 10-hour standoff with the FBI, SWAT, and police.
It's finally over.
What do you think it took to get there?
You. The power of the media. Chicago police, Madison police, the FBI is what happened. They worked hard. They worked so hard in the little time that they had, and they caught him.
They caught him 2 days after we first showed you Wednesday what happened inside this home. Less than 2 days before the shooting, Newsom was granted an order of protection after what she calls years of domestic abuse. She says she tried to add their kids to that protective order, but a judge denied it, and Coleman was allowed to ask for parenting time.
What would you say to other domestic violence victims, survivors?
Never give up. The system is hard to navigate through. Never give up. Keep pushing. Stay safe. That's all you really can do.
We're told Coleman is recovering at the University of Chicago with minor injuries. Newsom is one of 28,000 people in Cook County who filed for orders of protection in the last year alone. In the newsroom, Marissa Perlman, CBS 2 News.
That's the story of survival from Miss Antoinette Newsom. And it's lucky for her, she or any of her children that was caught up in this didn't die. But I'm going to tell you, they got a long road to recovery. Not just with her being physically messed up, but the mental, recovery for her and her children. Said she had a 23-year-old daughter sleeping downstairs, was shot and beaten by this man. 12-year-old son ran in the room, got shot twice. Once in the arm, once in the leg, trying to defend his mom. Now, I didn't say the ages of the children that she has by him, but I mean, it's a lot of people in that house. And to hear their mother getting shot up 7 times, it's a mess. He shot her in places where he thought he could vitally end her. 1 here, 1 in the head. Was it 2 or 3 in the chest, all in the upper extremity where the heart and lungs is at. Shot her in the bed with her 2 babies there. Horrific. This woman got her arm up. She'll never use her arm the right way again because she was defending from him. Hid in the closet for hours, then popped out like Jack in the Box. She woke up with a gun in her face. How much hate do you have for somebody that you claim you loved at one time or another that brought 3 of your children into this world? It's like nowadays these dudes turn love into street beefs. She wouldn't got a restraining order from him because he was a physical dude. It's not fair to the kids to see their mother beat up. It's embarrassing, all type of stuff. This guy wasn't thinking about that. Selfish, controlling. And he tried to end her, but she survived. Like a lot of other people in these stories I did, she survived. Then when the heat came down on him, because he was the tyrant in that house, then when it was time to pay the bills of justice from all of the ninja that he incurred by victimizing both this woman and her kids, because they're victims too, from having to go through that and hear it and all of this type of stuff. He turned bitch. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Luckily, he didn't succeed. Now his dumb ass is locked up. It's a sad case, man, when people do this to each other. In case you were wondering where she was standing, she came outside the hospital to do the interview. That's why she had the robe and stuff still on, which I don't know why she did that. But I mean, that's what she did. And it's crazy. It's crazy. She had to come out, speak, let her voice be heard for other people, that are lost or don't know what to do. She spoke, said you got to do your work with the system, but it worked in her favor. Either way, man, this is some crazy stuff. They said, let me see, I think I got the stat up here. And this was crazy too. It says, Newsom, who's the victim, was one of 28,000 people in Cook County who filed orders of protection in just the last year alone. 28,000 people in a year have people that are bothering them and won't leave them alone. These are adults. Think about that. 28,000 people just in that county alone. Now, imagine all the counties in the United States. It's a bunch of assholes running around here, not looking for love, but looking to control and dominate other people. So bad, you got to go get orders to keep them, to tell them, you got to go to the law and tell them to leave you alone because they have no self-control. Sickening. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Big shout out to everybody that came to the live stream last night. We had us a real good time. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.